The Donald Trump. Sam, you liberal Jew. Stop buying into the false narratives by the lamestream media. You're destroying America. Happy New Year. It'll be the biggest New Year ever. Let's do this. Yeah, we forgot to mention this. Donald Trump had a Rosh Hashanah message.
A truth.
Yeah.
An eternal truth.
On Truth Social. Let's pop this up.
He's borrowing from Ben Shapiro here, I will say. This is something that Shapiro has said before, that we've remarked on this program. Like, police, he's the real Jew police.
Yeah. Of course, Ben Shapiro, there can only be one Pope of the Jews, and that's Ben Shapiro. But Donald Trump, just a quick reminder for liberal Jews who voted to destroy America and Israel because you believed false narratives. Let's hope you learn from your mistake and make better choices moving forward. Happy New Year.
That's my gift to you.
That was the Tequila Sharua. That was what that was.
FYI Jews.
I've got some news for you, Jews. You're doing it wrong. You're praying at false idols. Pray at your one true God, me.
Make better choices.
There you go.
How many Jews does he have in mind there? Like, what proportionality?
Wait,
liberal Jews.
75% of American Jews.
So this was the part that, like, I mean, there's so much in this that is,
Oh my God.
pretty dark here. Wake up, sheep. What Nazi anti-Semite ever did this for Jewish people or Israel?
Well, wait a second. Did he do this part too, or is he just retweeting?
He's reposting it and
reposted this image
and commenting.
I thought it was a beautiful message I wanted to share with all my non-liberal Jews.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheepy Jewy.
Trump moves the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So, just scroll through it. This is just a bunch of pro-Israel stuff.
Well, I want to read what he thinks is,
Trump recognizes Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Trump recognizes Israel's sovereignty over settlements in Judea and Samaria.
Now let's just be clear here. Again, by any accounts, the conflation of Israel's and maybe not even Israel's, but is a specific ideology in Israel and a certain government. Although, largely I think Israel's getting more and more homogenous in its views on this. But conflating Israel's interests with the interests of Jews has often in the past been considered an act of anti-Semitism in and of itself. So just so you know that. Sheepy Jews.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
But although that's what the entire right does on a regular basis, Trump signs an executive order for Judaism to be a nationality in addition to a religion, so it would fall under the category Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That act prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs receiving federal financial assistance. Okay, there we go.
I mean, they put the
BDS part.
This means that BDS will have a hard time harassing Jewish students on college campuses.
Sorry, it's a little blurry on my screen. Let me read it from here instead.
And then the last
5.
one here. Trump signs the Never Again Education Bill into law, which allocates millions of dollars to expand Holocaust awareness and create websites with curriculum tools for teachers.
You mispronounced that. It's educates.
It's clearly one of the greatest anti-Semites of our time with a heart. And then sarcasm. Trump 2020. Okay, you gotta update that, buddy. Jexit, baby.
Jexit.
I mean, this truth is gonna prompt the Jexit, because new year, new resolution, right? And Trump said it's time to reevaluate your choices. And
he missed such an opportunity with just like Jexodus would have been much better.
Oh, it would have been. Right, but everything.
Well, I mean, we're trying to spell allocates over here, so.
Allocates.
Educates. So there it is. happy Rosh Hashanah. Can't wait to hear his Yom Kippur message.
He is.
Because you've
feels
sinned, you should ask yourself for forgiveness for not voting for me.
His brain cannot contemplate people having political principles outside of just tribal identification with their own group, whether it be in his instance rich people or white people, but that's why he can't. It doesn't compute for him that a Jewish person might not be voting based on Israel purely, because I see you as a Jew, Israel Jewish state, come on, that's your team.
No, he's just a right winger, and that's basically it. I don't know what else to say. All right. And speaking of Donald Trump, this poor guy, Rudy Giuliani.
That's what we call a chin strap.
It's
but it's an ink.
You know what I love about this picture? There's something about this that reminds me of the Mapplethorpe exhibit that he came down upon back in the 90s. I don't know. There was a Jesus P, I think it was, exhibit, or
Piss Christ.
Yeah, the Piss Christ. I don't think that was Mapplethorpe. Mapplethorpe maybe had a whip or something to that effect. But there's something about the I can't remember who it was that had the Piss Christ. But there's something about this that reminds me of this. It's like the eternal wound on Giuliani that he has with this dripping from the side of his head.
That's his version of the Harry Potter scar.
But there it is, right there. Former Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani was sued Monday by his one-time lawyers.
The wokeness is out of control.
In a lawsuit that says he owes $1.36 million in unpaid legal fees. Robert Costello, a partner at the law firm Davidoff, Hutcher & Citron, sued Giuliani in New York Supreme Court. He and his law firm are seeking payment of legal services Giuliani has received since 2019. According to the lawsuit, Costello's firm began providing Giuliani legal services, according to NBC News, around November 2019, which continued through July of this year. Lawsuit said legal services provided by the firm included early representation in what became the election interference cases in Georgia and Washington, D.C. I wonder why he needed that in 2019 of November. Guys, I'm about to engage in something that's going to be a little bit dicey. Are you familiar with a coup? The law firm alleges that it billed Giuliani directly for fees and expenses totaling more than $1.5 million, and that Giuliani only paid $214,000. It was reported that Donald Trump hosted a fundraiser for Giuliani. It was something like 100. He was trying to hit up 100,000 per person. I guess it didn't work out so well.
There were a few weeks ago. Giuliani's been begging Trump for money, and Trump says no. I'll host your fundraiser, but none of mine.
Bit on that. We need some supply and demand here.
Yeah.
The problem is that's not. I don't think that's Giuliani's only legal bill. He was sued for $10 million by Noel Dunphy. That was the woman who had allegations that Giuliani sexually harassed her
and abused her physically too. Yeah.
And also she had mentioned that he had discussed selling of presidential pardons after her hiring in 2019, which corroborated earlier reporting too on that. That was the one where he had said to her apparently where's my tits? Your tits
belong to me.
Tits belong to me.
These are my tits.
Yes. My tits. These are my tits.
I'm possessive about these tits.
And he did not pay her for her services in his purchasing of those tits. So, that's the issue.
In July, a disciplinary board for the D.C. Bar Association recommended that Giuliani be stripped of his law license over malicious and meritless claims. As far as I can tell, there has been no action on that. I don't know how long that process takes. And last month, Giuliani was on the hook for $90,000 for basically defaulting on the suit charging him with defamation. And
by the poll workers?
Yep.
Yeah. He's in a lot of legal trouble too. He also, is he not being personally targeted as well for
he is one of the defendants in Georgia too. I presumably needs defense for that as well.
Right.
So I imagine his legal bills are way up there. But honestly, put this picture back up. What do you think a signed autograph picture of this would go for on eBay? Like if you
What
started
if you could
selling
sign it with the actual
With the herring.
like, hairs,
exactly.
stuff.
That would be amazing. I think that's a way.
Dip a quill in it.
Just come up with different ways in which he can raise money.